What's up guys, first off a little disclaimer. I accidentally deleted the audio or part of the audio of this episode, so I'm having to redub it and it's gonna be a bit awkward probably, but I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna just go through the episode and try and comment on what I'm doing everywhere. But yeah, so we're in season 3, still with Shrewsbury in the League One. Last season we finished 17th, like I showed you. Yeah, I know I've been away for a while. I haven't uploaded anything really. I haven't given you guys a reason. I'm not gonna give you a reason now, because I don't want to get into it. I want to try and keep this as short as possible. But I do apologize, and I just want to say I really appreciate you guys coming back to the videos, sticking with me. But yeah, let's get into it. Transfer wise, I told you guys about the problems with financial fair play that I had last season, and now with some additional sponsorships, or some new sponsorships I should say, we have more funds available and the financial fair play isn't really a problem anymore. But before the new sponsorships came through, we had to get rid of a few more players in order to give new contracts to other players that I wanted to keep. So there's 3 more players that I've gotten rid of. Dominic Smith is one of them. I have some mixed feelings about this guy because he did have some potential, but it didn't really come through, so I had to let him go. Nathaniel Knight Percival, really the same story, because I did think he was going to be an important player for us, but he was important in the first season, sort of, but he wasn't progressing the way I had hoped him to, so I got rid of him as well. And then we've got Stephen Foster. Again, mixed feelings. He could still be of value, I think, but he didn't really play that much last season, and he was quite expensive on the wages as well, so I let him go. Right, a few incoming transfers at the beginning of this season. First of which was an important signing, I thought. A free transfer, a Belgian dude I couldn't really resist. Pieter-Jan Montaigne. He used to play for the team I support, Beerschot, who are now in 3rd division, I think, in Belgium, because they had horrible finances and they got relegated, and it's a whole story. I don't really know all the details, but they're now in 3rd division, having merged with a different club, and they're shooting up the ranks, trying to get to 1st division as quickly as possible. But yeah, so as you can tell, he was a bit of a legend for Beerschot, and now he's probably ending his career with us here in Shrewsbury. As you can tell, stats are going down a little bit, but he's got loads of experience, and his mental attributes are great. His technical attributes are pretty good. His crossing is good. He's got good tackling. He's still physically fit, not extremely fit, but still physically fit. So yeah, I think he'll be useful, and especially to guide some of our youngsters, which reminds me I'll have to show you guys some of those youth players. This one is one of the young players, but he's a bit of a mistake. I took a gamble with this guy. It wasn't possible to scout him, and I only knew a few of his skills, and it turns out I only knew his best skills. So yeah, I was in the wrong with this one. I could be in the wrong with another one actually, because this guy is coming in as well. and I only know 2 skills from this guy, so it's a real gamble. But I think it's a free transfer, so yeah. I didn't pay anything for this guy either, so it's only a small amount of wages. So again, gamble, but well, sometimes it turns out to be a good one, sometimes it's a bad one. This time was a bad one. Right, so then we got Rhys McCabe. I think that's the way you pronounce his first name. If it's wrong, please correct me, I can learn. Yeah, he's a midfielder. We needed some reinforcement on midfield, I thought. He's our second best midfielder now, after Ryan Tunnicliffe, who is another new signing. But I think he's going to be useful. Yeah, scouts did warn me about the determination, which is only 8, but I think it'll fit in. It'll fit him just fine. Obviously, his aerial ability isn't great, but he's got some good technical stats, some nice vision, work rate. Yeah, decent all-round playmaker, I think. Ryan Tunnicliffe, you saw him already. He's a bit of a capture, I think. He hasn't. He's 23 years old, so he might not reach his potential anymore. But still, he's a great signing, I think, for a club like Shrewsbury. As you can tell, he's got most of the skills that he needs. His finishing isn't that great, but I don't really care about that. His long shots could be better, but I mean, can work on that. Passing's alright, tackling, anticipation. He's got loads of bravery. Yeah, all of this is alright. Work rate's great. Physical attributes are good as well, so yeah. Really chuffed with that one. Especially since he has some experience at a high level. Well, he's played 10 games for Fulham in the Championship, 14 games for Blackburn in the Championship. He hasn't really played that great, but it's experience. Jonathan Teixeira, we loaned him again. Last season we loaned him as well, and he did well for us. So I thought, why not? Let's loan him again. He's got the potential to be a key player for the team, and he's almost there. So yeah, he really is a key player for us. Tom Eastman, the only player we've spent any money on, and I think he was an important player. I wouldn't say he's worth the 550k. I would have liked to have gotten him at a cheaper place, but we needed some reinforcement at the back after we got rid of our central defenders. And yeah, I want to get rid of Stephen Miokolo as well, because he's barely played a game for us. He's been injured pretty much 90% of the time. His contract is expiring at the end of the season. His value is going down, so I really have to sell him as quickly as possible. Look at his injuries. I mean, he came into the squad right here, I think. Then he had a 4-week injury, 9 days, 6 weeks, 9 days, 4 weeks, 5 months, 3 weeks. That's still going. Yeah, he's been injured all the time. So he's going to go. And Tom Eastman is going to be his replacement, basically. He's 24 years of age. He's got some good potential ability. He might not reach it anymore because he's already 24, but still, he's pretty decent for us. He's got good heading, good jumping reach, strength. He's a real strong central defender, a really typical central defender, I'd say. All of these stats are really good, except his leadership maybe, but yeah. So then we have Sienna Foster, who is, again, I think I'm pronouncing that name right. We got him on loan from Hull. A really fast, spacey right back. I was looking at another right back, and actually I was on the point of signing him when I saw Sienna Foster on the loan list, and I thought, yeah, I don't know, maybe this guy is better. So he is our best right back at the moment, better than Jermaine Grandison, and I probably will be using him as our first choice throughout this season. And Jermaine Grandison will become a backup, even though he's been important to us at the end of last season. Yeah, good player. And this is the point at which I can switch back over again to my original recording, my original audio, so I'll be back with you guys in a second. So yeah, Sienna Foster, lots of potential. Like I say, I will be using him quite a lot this season. The other right back I was looking at was Michael Harriman, and I ended up signing him anyway because I thought, you know, Sienna Foster is only on loan. I need someone permanently as well, especially because I was using Jermaine Grandison as right back mainly last season. Ryan Woods as well, but I've been using him more as a central midfielder. And I think Jermaine Grandison is still not really convincing me that he is a right back. You know, he doesn't look and feel like a right back to me. I don't like the fact that he can't really cross a ball. He's not really that pacey. Granted, Michael Harriman isn't that pacey either, but he's more pacey. I don't know, it's just, I think he's got stats for a defensive midfielder more than for a right back. So that's actually what I'm training him to become. I'm training him on a defensive midfielder position, and just gonna take a look at how he does in that position. Maybe he doesn't do well, but I think that's more his position. Michael Harriman will probably be in a rotation scheme with Sienna Foster. I think Sienna Foster will be number one, but Michael Harriman should do well as well. Right, so what else? Well, I'm on tactics, I might as well go for tactics. We have been using this formation in preseason. I think it's exactly the same as we were using at the end of last season. So, I just noticed this wingback is on defend. Should be support. Yeah, pretty much the same thing, really. I'm not sure if. Yeah, I think it's because I've extended the deals that they didn't show up as new transfers, but I have extended Ben Davies' loan deal, so he will be staying for the next season, which is good because we needed a good left back as well. Although I did bring in Adrian Montana, and yeah, I have to make sure. To look at this guy and a few other guys. We do have this guy, 19 years of age. He came from the youth academy, left back. He has been slightly concerned because he wants to get a chance in the first team. So I'm gonna give him a chance in the first team because looking at this potential ability, he deserves one. He's got great pace, absolutely mental. He's had this since the youth. At first, he only had pace, so I wasn't really too sure about him. He didn't even know how to mark or tackle. Actually, yeah, looking at his progress, that's just astounding, isn't it? From 5 basically tackling to what is it now? 10. Yeah, that's great work. In 2 years' time. So if he can keep that up, he will be a decent left back. His marking as well was at 9. Now it's at 12. I'm hoping he can do something about his crossing, because, like I say, I like my my left back and my right back to be able to cross the ball. His dribbling, I'd like to see him improve as well, but I'm not sure how many of these stats he can heave up, pull up to a decent level. So we'll see. I'm gonna give him a few chances this season. So that's also why Peter Montaigne is here. He should be mentoring Nathan Mills. Actually, he is learning. He's learning from Joe Scott at the moment. Another left back of ours. We've got a lot of left backs, I just noticed. Yeah. Well, Ben Davies can play central defender as well, so I can justify it by by claiming he's a backup for central defense as well. Cock. No, I've got too many left backs, really. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah, this is the tactics we've been using with these instructions. I think it's all still the same. I know we didn't do too well last season, although you could argue that we did fairly decently for a newly promoted League One team. In any case, I'm not gonna bother with this any longer, and we'll just go and have a look at the schedule. Preseason has been really average. A 3-3 draw against York. It's not horrible, but we shouldn't be conceding 3 goals against York. Newtown we beat 5-1. I'm a bit concerned about yet another goal conceded, but Aaron Vildig, James Collins, Luke Williams, Ishmael Miller and Jordan Clark scored, so that's all good. We beat Barrow 4-1. We should beat them 4-1. We should beat them 4-0, but anyway. And then we had a decent result against Stoke, a 0-0 draw. Really good. If we can keep clean sheets like that this season, then we will finish higher than we did last season. There's no doubt in my mind. The clean sheets are very important. We haven't had many last season, and if we have more this season, we will do better. Right, so last few things. I forgot to talk about a few other loan deals that we extended. Luke Williams, he's come back. He was important for us last season and the season before, so he will be back. Chuba Akpom was important for us last season, which will be evident in a few minutes when we go and look at some of the awards. And then we've got George Green, who came back because, look at him. He is magnificent. And problem is he got himself injured fairly quickly, and he is out for another 3 months. I think he was out for 4 months in total, and he's still out for 3. So we won't be able to use him in the first half of the season, pretty much. So that's a bit of a pain, but oh well. We do have some replacement. Right, what was I thinking about? Yeah, the under-21s. We don't really have anyone in here. These are all first team players who are just available for the under 21s. But in the under 18s, we've had some players coming through who are looking promising. Ray Spear for one. Yeah, Ray Spear. He's our first left winger. I think in a few years' time we can switch to tactics with wingers when this guy comes through. He's already got great dribbling, good crossing, good pace, acceleration. His flair, his determination are good. His off the ball is good. His technique is good. So I've got quite high hopes for this guy. If we can nurture him to his potential, to his full potential, he'll be important for us in the future. And then we've got Lee Fisher, who is an attacking midfielder. He looks, I mean, I always look at this analysis to get a first impression of players, and that doesn't really give me that fuzzy feeling that I get from Ray Spear. Don't interpret that the wrong way. And his stats are going down, which is a bit concerning. But he's still got decent potential, so if we can get him to his potential, I think he'll still be useful at some point. The rest of them, Nicholas Wright, he's 18 already. He's got 1-star current ability, but he's not quite there yet for the first team. So maybe we'll look at loaning him out this season, and then we'll see where he is next season. Yeah, the other guys are not really worth looking into. Alright, so before I leave you guys, I want to say that I will be live coming the first game of the season, but I'll do it in a separate video because this one is already becoming very long. And the only thing I want to be looking at right now is where is it again? The player awards. Top goal scorer this season last season went to Chuba Akpom with 19 goals. The year before it was James Collins with 21, so that's fairly comparative. Chuba Akpom was also our top league goal scorer with 16 goals. Most goals in a match came from Scott Vernon with a hat-trick against Bradford. Most assists was Chuba Akpom with 12, same as Luke Williams last season. Highest average rating came from Chuba Akpom as well, 7.02 in 46 appearances. Most player of the match awards was James Collins with 5. Most discipline went to Anthony Griffith, who improved considerably over last season, but he also played less than last season, I think. So 6 yellow cards and 2 reds. Most league appearances for the club is Jermaine Granderson with 140. Most league goals for the club is James Collins with 51 goals. Youngest player is Dimitri Lavallee with 18 years and 210 days. Oldest player was Stephen Foster with 35 years and 120 days. Youngest goal scorer was Chuba Akpom, 19 years and 306 days. Oldest goal scorer was Liam Lawrence with 33 years and 331 days. Fans Player of the Year is again James Collins, which is slightly odd, I think, because he didn't really play that well. Well, 7.01, that's decent. 10 goals, 8 assists in 34 appearances. I didn't have as much confidence in him as I did last season, but he did well, apparently. And the last one, fastest goal, came from George Green with 1 minute and 43 seconds against Blackpool. Right, so that's it. I am going to leave you guys here. I don't want to drag it out any longer than it already has been dragged out. Training, not really anything worth mentioning. Yeah, with that, I'm going to leave you guys.
For those of you who want to see the live com, I will be uploading it after this video, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.